All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Bryce. I'm the head of marketing at Delpha. Joining us on this webinar is my colleague Chetan, who's the head of customer success and our Salesforce admin. Chetan, you want to say hello real quick?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. I hope you're going to enjoy this session.
So today we're going to discuss how you as admins can equip all of your users with superpowers to improve data quality and productivity. But before we jump into the topic, I have a quick poll that I would like to gauge everyone real quick to understand a little bit about what is your go-to tool today for managing data quality in Salesforce. So let me launch the poll real quick. And in the meantime, just as a reminder, if you have any questions during our presentation, then you can just use the chat function in the Zoom control panel, and we'll either answer your questions live or we'll get to them at the end during our Q&A session. All right. So today, we're gonna, let me switch to our agenda. We're gonna have 3 sections. We're gonna start with an overview of data quality, focusing on the key dimensions of data quality. And then we're gonna hear from Chetan, who's gonna introduce Delpha and give you a live demo. And then we'll end with a Q&A. So let's begin with data quality. So today we're discussing data quality, but why? And when I say data quality, I'm not just referring to your contact data, but also the quality of the data in your pipeline and business processes. When data decays or is of low quality, it's very costly for the business. IBM estimates the bill for US companies to be around $3.1 trillion annually. It's the #1 reason for CRM failure, and it results in 12% loss in annual revenue. And the one that we can all feel on a daily basis is that it stalls our productivity. So whether it's data research, validation, cleaning, etc., all of your data users in all functions are affected. And the problem can be even simplified to a concept that we're all aware of today, and that's GIGO, or garbage in, garbage out, as it accurately captures the problem of what happens when we input bad data into our operations. That is, we will only get bad results. We want to prevent bad data because it's very hard to reduce its impact once we've let the data enter into our databases, operations, and analytics. So the challenge of data quality is having a comprehensive strategy that addresses all the key dimensions of data quality. Collecting good data from a machine or a website is easy, but the problem is when humans come into play. Humans are complex and error prone and directly impact your business's data quality. So either you decide to replace the human or you need to augment their abilities. At Delpha, we decided to augment your Salesforce users with an AI solution to improve data quality by addressing all of these dimensions and increase productivity for better business performance. So we believe the following 6 dimensions have the greatest impact on the business, and I'll go through each of them real quick with an example to highlight their differences. So the first one is completeness. And this is just measuring whether or not you actually have inputs into your required fields. So, it doesn't have to be all of your fields, but the ones that you've required or you've determined for your business that are required, right? So on the contact, is it the name, title, accounts, emails, and unique identifier? The next one is to assess whether or not that data is valid. The data that's been inputted into these fields, are they fulfilling the rules that have been set up by your admins or you? The next one is then to determine whether or not this data is accurate. Are the inputs in the right fields? Are the names correctly spelled? Are they reversed? And then you need to go and check for consistency. For emails, for example, are you using personal emails, professional emails, both? And is that consistent throughout the database? And then you need to check for whether or not that this data is duplicated. And so here you're checking to make sure that all of the important data is unique. And the last one is to check for the timeliness, or is your data up to date? And this one can be challenging because it sometimes requires you to have sort of access to a third party to be able to check or verify that, like a LinkedIn or a public source of information, Google, for example, because data decays at a surprising rate. Sorry, let me go back. For example, 7 to 10% of consumers and businesses relocate every year. And 4% of customer data becomes stale on a monthly basis. So that means in a year, you could have anywhere from 25 to 50% of your data is outdated and it's not actionable. So you need a method or a process to ensure that the records are up to date in real time. And so we designed Delpha to address all of these dimensions throughout your entire Salesforce within a simple, intuitive interface that can be used by anyone without the need for any training. Regardless of how Salesforce updates, Delpha is always there. It's always your constant window of success. So our solution is 100% native to Salesforce, complies with their high-level data security standards, and can be easily activated from the App Exchange. Delpha is lightning ready and compatible with all devices. So Delpha is successful in changing user behavior because it doesn't operate by rules, which can become complex, ignored, or even broken, but instead notifies and engages with the user in real time when an issue has been detected. Our ultimate goal is to help our clients achieve data excellence throughout their entire organization. Regardless of where the business is at in its data journey, Delpha can assist your users to make improvements today and prepare you for your next strategic step. So with that, I'm going to pass it off over to Chetan, who's going to take over.
Thanks, Bryce. That was an excellent introduction to Delpha. I'm going to give a quick overview on Delpha, followed by a live demo. As an industry-wide best practice, Delpha adopts 3 key steps to help companies achieve data excellence. The first step is the data quality assessment. Delpha assists key data quality dimensions in your Salesforce org using machine learning techniques to detect bad data and create intuitive data quality dashboards. The assessment helps identify critical problems and also the ones that are often overlooked. The mitigation follows assessment. Based on the assessment, you can install the necessary conversation templates, basically the ready-made solutions given by Delpha. Delpha then provides tailored recommendations to each user based on the user data, business data, and interaction with the product on a simple chat window. Finally, monitoring. All the assistant activities are recorded and can be analyzed on the dashboards. As an admin, you can build dashboards and reports by using formulas to monitor some dimensions of data quality. Then you might be thinking, why Delpha? If you look at the Salesforce best practices, they do tell you how to assess it, but when you look into it carefully, you'll realize that it might not be the best way, or you still have to depend on an external solution. For example, on age and completeness, it suggests how to assess it, but there is no solution from Salesforce. Similarly, for accuracy, you'll need to use an external solution for both assessment and fixing it. So even after building the reports, you'll have to hunt down the contact and start fixing it manually, or you'll have to evaluate a bunch of solutions for each problem or dimension. So basically what will happen is you will end up with a complex list of apps to ensure the overall data quality. So we designed Delpha. No matter what the problem or the process is, it's going to be handled through a simple, intuitive interface and mostly in real time. The solution is aimed at benefiting all the users rather than only the admins. So now you might be wondering, how exactly does Delpha work? Delpha deploys AI to detect data quality issues and recommend actionable solutions in a simple chat window, as you can see. Inside each recommendation, Delpha synthesizes all the relevant information needed to address the problem and engage with the end user to determine a solution. Finally, based on the end user decision, it automates business process or fixes data directly on your account, contact, opportunities in real time. The ultimate goal is to help our clients achieve data excellence, regardless of where the business is in its data journey. So we created 50 plus ready to use templates, where each template identifies a key business problem and guides the end user to fix them. Currently, these templates are mainly spread over the Sales and Service Cloud, addressing issues from bad data to inefficient processes or pipelines. As an admin, you can also use the no-code builder to easily build custom conversations. The goal is to keep adding more and more templates, which the user can download easily and start fixing the issues, but at the same time, also provide the flexibility to admins to build custom process-driven recommendations. Now let's have a look at Delphi in action. Okay, currently we're on the first step of data excellence, the data assessment. Delphi assess 6 key contact fields, namely name, email, phone, title, address, and account name, against the 6 dimensions of data quality to identify key problems and create intuitive data quality dashboard. The first row here provides the overall data quality score based on the 6 dimensions. It also gives you information about the contact owner score, data quality improvement over time. The second row here gives the detailed information on the particular name field. You can see the number of records associated or having problems in the specific dimensions. For example, there are 1.6 thousand inaccurate names. If I scroll down, finally, the last row provides the total number of records with key problem. As you can see, there are 167 misspelled names, 58 reverse names, 29 duplicate contacts, and so on. The dashboard can be extended to all the fields and all the data quality issues. Once the key issues are assessed, admins can go to each record and fix it. However, we want to address these at the end user level, which are basically the record owners and have the most of the information about the particular record. So let's see the end user experience as a sales user. Just to note, I've pre-opened all the necessary tabs because of my poor internet connection. For demo purpose, let's assume my first prospect for the day is Samantha Parker. Every company's prospecting is different. So sometimes when you scrape data or when you import data, it can result in reverse names. This can impact the email generation or email campaigns. Let's say that the name was reversed due to one of these reasons. Let's see how Delphi is going to engage with the end user to fix this. As you can see, the Delphi is at the bottom right corner. Delphi has created 2 recommendations. The recommendations are prioritized for this user on this particular on this page. Delphi ensures that not all the recommendations are bombarded at one time, but only the prioritized ones. I want to select the reverse name recommendation. The machine learning model here analyzes the first name and last name independently and provides the confidence score of it being the first or the last name. In this case, Parker has a 2% confidence score being the first name and 97% confidence score being the last name. Similarly, Delphi also gives you information from external sources. In this case, it's the LinkedIn name. It's a Samantha Parker. Once, as an end user, I'm sure that the name has been reversed. I can click on the reverse it option to reverse it instantly. In case I feel that the suggestion is wrong, I can reject the recommendation and tell the Delphi that the name is wrong. So Delphi is going to keep learning based on the user behavior and prevent wrong recommendations from reappearing. In this case, I'm going to update. And since the email is empty, I'm just going to keep it as well. Once the name has been reversed, I can generate the right email using the email issue recommendation. The machine learning model again tries to identify the right email address for this particular contact and also gives the confidence score. The confidence score helps in the decision process of the end user. In this case, Delphi is given samantha.parker@kojikok.com as the right email address with a 99% confidence score. I can click on the email address and update it instantly. Similarly, if you're facing problems with the duplicate cases, you can install the duplicate case templates. Or if you're facing problems with the enrichment, you can install the enrichment conversation templates and start enriching your contacts and accounts through simple clicks. Now let me move to my second prospect for the day, Michael Gilbert. Delphi has identified a problem with this record. It is a duplicate record recommendation. As you can see, Delphi has identified Michael Gilbert, which is almost similar to this record. The icons here indicates the field that I use for comparison. The duplicate identification of Delphi goes beyond what Salesforce can do. You can set the threshold score, you can change the fields as you want, and then the AI model works basically on all the fields. I can select the record and choose the particular record as my master record. I'm going to select this record as my master record and start my merging process. The merging happens in 3 simple steps. The first one is the selection of the master record, and then the selection of the fields that I wish to be copied to the master record. I'm going to keep the fields as it is, and then I'm going to click on update. Finally, the last step is to merge all the records with the related items or without the related items. You can see here, there are no, I am going to merge the record with the related items. As you can see, there's only one case in this contact. Another case from the merge record needs to be added here. You can see that the case has been added. So similarly, if you're facing problem on the Service Cloud, you can again install the conversation templates, which we can send a link at the end of the webinar. So based on whatever problem or process you have, you can start building your conversations and start using the templates given by Delpha. So as you saw, the Delpha ensures that the recommendation, engagement, and execution happens on a single component instead of switching between tabs or pages to improve the efficiency of end user. As a Delpha super user, you can activate these conversations, or you can build your own custom conversations on the conversation builder. So let's have a look at the conversation builder. These are the conversation templates which has been installed on this particular org. Let's take a look at the email issue template. The email issue template basically identifies all the emails that are missing or invalid and guides the end user to fix them. So this is the decision tree. There are two main components in any conversation template. The first one is the initialization. The initialization basically helps you define when, where, and to whom the conversation needs to be proposed. You can either define simple conditions or use Apex and Flow for complex conditions. And secondly, the node. The node helps us define the flow or engagement of the conversations using messages, questions, or answers. This can be simple text. The key component of a node is the answer. The answer helps you define static or dynamic type of answer, and also the process that is associated upon selection of an answer. It can be either in Flow or in Apex. Once the conversation is complete, as an admin, you can activate the conversation and then start monitoring the user performance on the key performance indicator dashboard. So let's have a look at the key performance indicator dashboard. As you can see, again, the key performance indicator dashboard is within your Salesforce org. It gives you information about the number of conversations suggested, number of conversations started and completed by the end user. It also gives you information on the activity per role, per profile, or even trending conversation. In case you want more information on a particular conversation, you can just have a look at this conversation funnel on the reverse name on the contact page. So these charts are elaborate. With the key performance indicator dashboard and along with the data quality assessment dashboard, which I showed in the beginning, you can monitor the data quality progress, Delpha user adoption, and also the return on investment. So this was just dipping our toe on discovering how Delpha can help you achieve data excellence. Now I'm going to let Bryce take over the Q&A session.
Awesome. Great demo, Chetan. Real quick, I'm going to share my slides again because we have not only information about our website, but you can also scan the QR code if you want to book a meeting with us at your convenience. So let me share that real quick. And then we're going to jump into the Q&A. And I did see one of the questions that came through was on pricing. So I'll just answer that right now at the beginning. So our pricing information is all available on the website. We charge $29 US per user per month, but we're also offering discounts to startups and nonprofits. So if you have any questions about that, just send us an email or reach out to us. But now let's just jump into some of the questions that came in. Chetan, so I'm gonna throw this one to you. And so somebody was asking if Delpha is able to detect problems in real time.
Yeah, in this demo, I just showed how Delpha assesses the Salesforce data first and then recommends conversation. But however, Delpha can detect problems in real time. It can either be during the creation or updating of the records and guide the user to fix it.
Okay. And the second one is about data security. So is the data secure and what happens to their data?
Yeah, the data is completely secure. As an App Exchange app, Delpha is passed the Salesforce security review, which means that it meets all the necessary Salesforce security standards. We do not store any personal information or business data outside of Salesforce. When the data needs to be processed by the AI model, it's encrypted and securely processed, but again, it's never stored on any database.
Okay, and what about data volume? So this question is asking if there's any limitations to how much data that Delpha can work with.
No. Again, the Delpha's data processing infrastructure has been built with the scalability in mind. So we followed the best practice of Salesforce to achieve this. So as of today, we don't have any limitations on the amount of records that can be handled by Delpha.
Excellent. This question, someone was asking because they use multiple orgs at their company, and so does Delpha have to get installed on all of the orgs, or can it work across orgs, so Salesforce orgs?
Or Delpha can easily work across multiple Salesforce orgs. You don't need to install Delpha on each of these orgs, either, but you have to have the Salesforce connector connecting these orgs and then install Delpha on one particular org and start sharing information. For example, you can establish cross-org account relationships or identify duplicates among these orgs, for example.
And I guess as a quick follow-up to that, Chetan, what does the installation process look like? Is it quick? Is it an all-day thing? Does it take a week?
The Delpha can easily be installed from the App Exchange. It should take less than 15 minutes to install the package and start using the standard templates, which I showed. And then since it's a conversational bot, the end user can start using the assistant instantly. And in case if they have any questions, they can always head to the help center and find solutions.
All right. With that, there's no more questions that came through. And I know that I'm a minute over our allotted time. So I guess we'll just wrap it up here. But if there are any more questions that pop up later, as I said, feel free to reach out to Chetan or myself, and we'd be more than happy to answer them. So thanks again for joining our webinar. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a good day.